For the spring 2018 Computational Creativity class at the Georgia Institute of Technology, we created the writing pool. The goal of this project was to convert plain modern English into the style of a particular author, such as William Shakespeare or Geoffrey Chaucer. Uses of this product include an author creating a period piece that takes place in the Middle Ages, a comedian trying to imitate someone's speaking style, or teachers teaching about different writing styles. Related works include image style transfer, which takes a photograph and shows how different painters would have painted that photograph, and paraphrasing for style, which converts Shakespearean English into modern English using phrase tables. Our mechanism uses a bidirectional LSTM to encode plain modern English as the input and decode it as English in the style of the target author.
One of the main challenges of this project is that for modern authors, we do not have the ground truth text to train our style models based on. For this, we will use a neural machine translation model which translates the author's text into a different language, then translate it back into English to strip away style. This is similar to a service such as Google Translation. As an example, here we see some texts from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice in their original form and what we get when we translate it to French and back to English. We then build a web application on top of our trained style transfer and text prediction recurrent neural networks using the stack of Flask, jQuery, Bootstrap for styling, and lastly, our neural network library is TensorFlow. Here is the tool in action. We see that when the user inputs a partial sentence, the sentence completion portion finishes the sentence for him or her, and the style transfer model transfers it into a different style.
To evaluate our model, we use Jordan's framework, which entails taking someone else's framework for creativity and applying it to our own. We built our evaluation criteria off of Wiggins' criteria for creativity, which are novelty and value. We operationalize novelty in our terms as involving complexity and uniqueness. Scoring well in complexity for our model would mean that it would be able to handle complex, lengthy sentences with dense grammar, while a unique example that our model handled well would contain many words it hadn't seen in its training data. For value, we operationalized it by including meaningfulness, which meant that the outputs that were produced by our model were meaningful, and coherence, which meant that we had syntactically correct outputs. These are our example outputs that users evaluated our models from. The first one is the complex example, which, while it might not contain words that are particularly novel to our model, it is still complex and thus doesn't have any overlap. Similarly, the bottom one is the novel case, where there are words such as drove, car, and paycheck that would not be seen in the training data.